Our goal is to design systems that are ecologically sound and economically profitable, because if we do that, we've done just about everything right. And then we have a beautiful ecological system that we're living in on a healthy, green planet, clean air, clean water, and we're paying our bills. Now we have time to develop, higher, more peaceful and creative social structures. David Holmgren took a lot of what was in the Permaculture Designer's Manual and put it into a series of principles. And most permaculturists are familiar with permaculture principles that start with observe nature, imitate nature systems, and interact with the system that you create. All the rest follow from that. And until we've figured out this part where we're going to observe nature, imitate it, and interact with it, I don't think that we really need to go further, because if we don't get the first one right, how can you get the second and third and so on? So in order to observe and interact, we have to know the difference between an observation and a concept. And I know some people get frustrated with me for bringing this up over and over and over and over again, but this is so seriously significant. An observation is something that you see, hear, taste, touch, smell, measure with instruments, derive through testing. And if I observe a phenomena and describe on a piece of paper or whatever how to observe this phenomena, and I give it to you in Michigan, or you down in Georgia, or you over in New Zealand, you can follow the same process and you will observe the same phenomena. You may call it by different names, but you'll observe the same thing. So that's observation. A concept is merely an intellectual construct that we lay upon reality. Now, supposedly it's supposed to help us understand reality, but it doesn't always work that way. And I've used a number of different examples of how to tell the difference, or at least show you the difference between observation and concept. And I'm going to do this with the next slide. I want everybody to look at this nice bunch of ripe Cavendish bananas. These are a stage 6 banana. They are, the perfect ripe bananas. They're blemish-free. There's no, insect damage, all that kind of stuff we can't see on it. What color are these bananas? And of course, we can't hear your answer, but you're just thinking this in your mind. What color are these bananas? Well, if you said yellow, what you did is you had an intellectual idea of what bananas should look like, and you projected that onto this screen, where this screen has bananas that are in a gray tone. It's all black and white photography. So if you said yellow, you were not observing the actual phenomena, you were observing your thoughts. And look at this banana here, these bananas, and say that they're yellow. That's not true. That's not accurate. Those bananas in this picture are not yellow. Anyways, I wrote a book, buy it. Somebody told me they tried to get it on Amazon and they were sold out. So we're going to be going through, we have been going through the forest ecology curriculum. What that is a study of all of the interrelated patterns, of processes, of flora and fauna, of ecosystems that include woody plants, forest ecosystems. And any forest ecosystem is like a discrete unit of land, which might actually be the land that's bounded by your property lines. That is considered a discrete unit of land, and it includes all the plants, animals, microorganisms. So if you think about the levels of complexity that's involved, phenomenally complex systems, a computer functions with a series of on and off switches, more or less. And so with 2 on or off, we can come up with computers and screens, and we can see all kinds of stuff. Now imagine an ecosystem with 100 different parts interacting perhaps 100 different ways. There's already what? Somebody do the math for me. Is that 1 million or 10 million? So complex systems, understanding how these complex systems work, and working with them in order to achieve certain outcomes. How these outcomes play out on the ground, if it's in within our timeline, with our lifetime timeline, that can be observed as, that's called succession, this change through time. In this particular field, we've seen this before in weeks past. If we were to just leave it alone and do nothing to it, the plants and the animals, the soils, everything on that site will gradually change through time. That's the process of succession. Wherever you live right now, whatever size or scale property that you have, from a suburban lot to a 4,000-acre ranch and wherever, the process of succession is taking place on that property, whether you know about it or not, whether you actually have anything to do with it or not. So by understanding how the plant and animal communities change through time, we can learn how to steer that to a certain extent. And we can understand what it's going to turn into. Now, an ecological disturbance is any kind of event in time that changes that system. It changes its structure, its physiognomy, its shape. It may have once upon a time been a bunch of tall trees. Now all of a sudden something happens, there's no trees, or it may have been a bunch of bare black dirt, like a leftover cornfield, and we plant it full of trees. Those both qualify as some sort of ecological disturbance, because that changes the structure and the shape of the overall system. A disturbance is anything that changes the species composition. It may be a particular mix of species, may be devoid of certain species, and extra species are added to it. And then its function. Everything, once again, from a cornfield to an old-growth forest, both of those systems function differently. And so a disturbance is anything that happens that causes a current system to change its function, and it starts to operate in a different way. And if you're going to be doing a restoration agriculture system, what you'll notice is at first you're working within the current ecological system. And as you get the new system set up, it takes a while, it seems,